Hi. I hope everybody is here. Should I say everybody who's coming? Hey, Granny on the go. It's good to see you. Today, I wanted to kind of have, a little fun time. I got my little crown on. We want to just be positive today. Hey, Ty.
Hey, do I need to put my headphones on?
If
Are
you
we
like,
getting
you
echo
don't.
or anything?
Oh, yours
If
is
I,
the
if I need to, I
headphones.
will. Okay, let me go on and put my headphones on.
And
And
I'm having a
I'm
literal
having a
adjust my
literal
crown moment.
adjust my crown moment.
Yeah, I might have to with these headphones.
I know that's right.
I know that's right.
Hey, Adele.
Hey Adele.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad everybody's here. This is wonderful. And as always, me being me, y'all know I'm going to put the link in the chat. So if anybody wants to come up and talk with me, talk with us, you absolutely can. Hey, boo, you just found the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button for this video as you come in. So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are here because y'all know we had an incredibly toxic evening last night. I mean, incredibly toxic. The mess was high, the fur was flying, it hit the fan, it was ugly. We saw it all, eyebrows, wiggly scalps, and all. We saw everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly last night. So I figured we needed to come on in today and we're going to have us just a nice, good time detoxing. I feel like it's time for us to have a spiritual detox. We're going to just have a good time and laugh and talk about what's good. And y'all welcome to hit that link, come up, talk with us, and tell us what's good with you. I don't want my space to be just about me running my mouth. Y'all, I'm pretty sure like the people who know I'm not, my ego ain't that big and I don't think I'm that important. So I want to know what's going on with y'all, what y'all got going on, what's happening. So Debonair is here. Y'all holla at my brother, and we got our sister
Hi,
Ty
Soda
here.
Benair.
Hey,
Yes, and Ty's here from her channel. Ty said what Ty said. Do not sleep on Ty because Ty is she's a killer. Like, don't sleep on her at all. She got the
I'm
shade, she got the
sharing.
gossip. And matter of fact, y'all, she got the old school gossip. So y'all might want to go holler at her, find her page, hit that subscribe button, because you know it don't cost you nothing. We ain't asked you for one penny, but make sure you do it.
I
Oh,
just
girl, you
subscribe. I
lost your
just
bundle
subscribed,
of
Ty.
sleep
I just
last night.
subscribed.
Thank you
That's
so
right.
much, Mr.
And so debonair,
Benair.
y'all
Let
already,
me
I'm,
get,
I'm putting my
yeah.
notifications on all right now.
that's right.
Thank you.
And
Let
y'all
me get
listen.
on.
And y'all know what So Debonair brings to the table. So don't trip. Y'all know what it is. Get over there. If you're not subscribed, get on it in a hurry. So, like I said, we just gonna talk about the good. We through with the bad and the ugly. I hope we through with the ugly. I don't know. I haven't got on the scale this morning, so I might not be through with the ugly. However,
So much.
I was talking with So Debonair this morning, and like we really hit on some real stuff. You know, with everything we went through and everything that we experienced, everything we watched
Hey,
happen
Portia.
last night, like this is time for us to shake this stuff off. Like, okay, I call this crown therapy. Like, of course, y'all see my crown. Anybody who knows me knows I love my crowns. I live for the crown. But a crown, crown therapy doesn't have to be a crown. It can be your favorite pair of stilettos, honey. It can be a lipstick that you like. It can be, your freakum dress, honey. Whatever it is that makes you feel good, that makes you feel wonderful and powerful and beautiful. Put it on, sit down, and let's talk. Let's talk about it. Okay. So, one, we're gonna just address the elephant in the room. The mess happened. It wasn't no way out of it. We dealt with it. We faced the ugly. We survived it. Okay.
Can I do
And
one thing, please?
go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
baby.
And I really hate doing this because I've been getting so much flack about other stuff, but I so thank you for this morning. Like I so thank you for this morning and our conversation between me and you. But I thank you for speaking life into me this morning because I really needed that this morning. And you know how much you mean to me. Everybody else may not know that, but you mean so much to me. And I just so appreciate you for just being obedient to God this morning and contacting me and having that conversation this morning.
Thank you so much for saying that. And that kind of leads me into where I was going with this. Like, y'all, we got to do better by each other. Like, don't get me wrong. When somebody does something slimy, y'all know we going to drag them. It's our nature. It's what we do. Okay? The drag going to happen. Get
Yeah.
get your Band-Aids ready, your rubbing alcohol, your Neosporin, whatever you need. We going to do it. Okay?
Yeah.
And ain't no apologies after the fact. We can pass you a Kleenex, though. We can do that. But when we finish with all that, we got to be real enough to know that we got to detox, y'all. We got to shake the darkness off. I think, I think that we all got a touch of darkness from everything that went on yesterday. I think that that lady, don't worry, Seasons of June, you get at me later or hit me on Instagram. I will make sure that you get a very pretty crown. Y'all know I love gifting my sisters with crowns. Y'all know that. But
But can a
I think
can a brother get a crown though?
you can definitely
Why
get a
not?
crown.
Yeah.
You can
I
get a
think you should have a
crown,
bigger
honey.
one. Yeah.
That's right. And the thing, I
Yeah.
just feel like we gotta get that stuff off of us. Like that lady brought some toxicity.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna say this too. We got to own up to our part in the toxicity. Mm.
absolutely, absolutely.
So that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a place of where do we go from here? What can we
Yeah.
learn from the situation? I think we can learn so much from this. Okay. And I think that I want all of
Absolutely.
us to really stop and think about, okay, what part of myself can I see in this person? Let me say it
Okay.
again, y'all. What part of myself can I see in this person? Now, that's not to say that anybody here is going to hide behind a cartoon character, slander and insult folks and mistreat people. Nobody's saying that. I'm not accusing anybody of that, nor myself. But what I'm saying is, what part of that do we embody? Like, what part of that can we see? You know? And even if you can't readily identify which part of yourself is slightly toxic, I guarantee you there's a spot where you can see where you might need to grow and move forward. And it's like, okay, let's look at this lady from a different perspective. Where can she go from here? Now, ain't none of us no preachers, we ain't no life coaches, no counselors, but where I would like to see her go from here is a place of accountability, truth, honesty, and transparency. Now, whether she does that or not, entirely up to her, definitely all her business. But when you start listing what you want to see other people do, I want the same thing for me. I want to be able to live
Mm-hmm.
completely transparent and completely live in my truth. And I want that for everybody else too. So I think that's where we go from here. Like, let's live in the light. We don't need this anymore. Let's pack it up, shove that crap up under the bed. We don't need it. Put it up under there with
Absolutely.
with them cheap shoes you bought from Rainbow.
Oh.
Y'all know the ones you wore to the club that one night and you ain't put them
Oh.
things on no more. Put it up under there because we don't need it. We don't need it. We done.
I think the most human thing to say is that we all have flaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all make mistakes. We are all human.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I don't hate that lady. What I
Mm.
do want is I want I want her to have peace in her heart. I want her to be able to what is the word I'm looking for? Authentically be who she is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's my prayer. That's the energy that I'm sending out into the atmosphere is that's what I want for her. And I don't know no other way but to be positive about everything. And what I will say is I got out of pocket last night. And I know what you said, Snitcher, but I'm going to say this. I got out of pocket last night, but only because emotionally, my emotions were high. Spiritually, my spirit was high. My soul was high. My entire body was high. And
Mm-hmm.
I got there, right? But I also have to be able to come down from that and say, hey, check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That could be you. Any, any,
Yep.
any day on the internet,
Yes.
that could be
Yep.
me. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yep.
so
How
true.
would I want people to deal with me if this was me?
Right.
And so
Right.
I got to check myself because, yes, I had to me, I don't care what everybody else thinks. I had a bad night for me because
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But my emotions were high. Everything in me was so high. And I
Mm-hmm.
literally laid down on my couch and I sat back because my emotions had to come down.
Right.
And I want anyone who is in that situation to understand, like, at some point, you got to check yourself and be like, sir, ma'am, bring it down. You know,
Right.
let God
I want
handle
to.
it. You know, because
So,
at the end of the day, we are we are made from God, right? Which means we all have a piece of Him, and we have to give that out regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And I always want to give that off, and so this is why, you know, when you called me this morning, I said I needed somebody to feed back into me. I needed that. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yes.
thank God so much that He used you for that.
Yep.
So that's where I'm at right now mentally. And I just want to thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. You know I love you. You know,
Yeah,
I feel like we're responsible for the energy we put out. Like, let's be
absolutely,
real. Let's be all the way real, y'all. We can't control what anybody does to us. We can only control how we react to it.
absolutely.
That's all we got, man. That's
well,
right.
not
That's
only
right.
that, we're talking about what we want for Monica and how we'd like for her to move forward. And we want these things. Yeah, it's good to say, yeah, I want this lady to be able to live in her truth and who she is. But as long as we have that for ourselves, because we can't control what she ultimately does. Maybe
That's
she'll
right.
decide to live the rest of her days in the dark. Who knows?
Right.
But all that we can control is what we give, what we bring, who we are. And so to Mr. Debonair, I would say to you, this hits differently for you because you are so close to what is going on. You are involved in what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So for the most of us, we just sat back and we had this wildly entertaining moment. This wildly
Mm-hmm.
entertaining 2 weeks has it been? It's crazy that it's gone on this long. So allow yourself space to be human. And
Yep.
yeah, sometimes our emotions do get the best of us, but every
Mm-hmm.
time we don't always check ourselves. So you knew that that was something that you needed to do. Congratulations to yourself, right? And so,
That's
but all
right.
these things that we want for Monica, these are the things that we ultimately want for ourselves. We need to be able
Yes.
to live in our own truth, which I
And
think I
let me
really
say something.
honestly.
Let me say something real quick so that we're all
Mhm.
safe. Don't keep saying her name.
Yeah, don't say it.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. So I just think that that we all that we have control of is ourselves,
That's right.
right? And so we've watched this stuff go on, and yeah, let's talk about the
Mm-hmm.
responsibility, that the part that we all played in it, because
Yeah.
I would not know who Shanitra was or who Debonair was if I wasn't going over to that channel. If
mhm,
I hadn't been going there, I'd have never seen your faces.
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
Now, well, I probably would have seen Shanitra's eventually, but so that's why I knew who you all were. There was something that she was bringing that people liked, whether we knew that it was positive or negative. There was something that drew us there, to the point that
Mm-hmm.
there are all these people in the stream now who were commenting. They knew who she was. They know what was going on. And
Mm-hmm.
on all these other channels where there are, dozens, hundreds, thousands of people watching to see what's going down, to see what's happening. All of us played a part in
mhm,
Yep.
this, in
In the
yeah,
just
toxicity.
feeding into the monster, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I can say, I got out, a few months ago. And then luckily, I don't know how it even happened. Shanitra found my channel and we've been interacting since then. And I didn't know who all had channels from that channel because, all of this had not exploded yet. So let's
Mm-hmm.
also look at what good came of it.
right,
Because I know,
Yes.
Mr. Debonair, now I know you have a radio background and you were just kind of fooling around with the YouTube thing to see what you could get going there. And so now you have, hopefully every last one of those panelists, have been able to build their platforms from this mess, right?
mhm,
So
Mm-hmm.
something good came out of it too. And so now, you have been able to build up your platform probably a little bit faster than would have been without this drama.
right,
It's a bad thing that turned into something good, right? It's
mhm,
one of those
Mm-hmm.
things, like, you hear about, just being a negative being used for
Yeah.
your good, right?
Mhm.
And so that's what happened. And
Mhm.
so we have so many positive places to move forward
Mhm.
from what happened, whether she decides to do anything differently or not. We can want her to change, we
Right.
can want her to say who she is, and none of that matters.
Right.
All that matters is ourselves and what we decide to do.
Right. And
Absolutely.
that's what, and ultimately that's what I was getting at. Like I wanted people to, take the moment, dehist, let all that extra air off, and look at the same things that we may want for this lady. Look into ourselves, like what part of those things do we embody? What part of those things do we want for ourselves? I
Mhm.
think one of the biggest triggers for everybody was accountability. And I think, that's why I said, let's look and see what part we played in this toxicity so we can be accountable as well.
Absolutely.
And not just for that, because listen, this thing is not our whole lives. We have
Mhm.
children, we got spouses, mates, we have bills, them things that keep showing up
Amen.
every month, no matter how many times we throw them things
And
out
I
who
there.
and who
know.
and who asked for those?
Not
I
us.
did not. I did not. I just told them on my channel. I said, "Yeah, I paid y'all last month. Like, what did you
Right.
do with the money I gave
Like,
you?
how many
Like,
times you gonna come for
terribly
this money? Like, for
irresponsible."
real.
Right.
Exactly.
Like,
They
it's
show
really
up. So
annoying.
it's like this stuff is not our whole lives. Like this is not, listen, even this should not even be all of YouTube.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't. So I ain't really for that today. Now that we got all of that out the way, how y'all doing? Down there
Hmm.
in the chat, y'all too. How y'all doing? What's going on? You know what
How
I'm
are
saying?
y'all
Like,
doing?
what's good? I hope that.
Velocity 1913. Are you a
Mhm.
soror? I'm a Delta. I see a lot of my people here. Hi, Gabriel Escobosa.
And I
Hey,
do
Alicia.
appreciate the chats that you pulled up who said thanking me for actually acknowledging that,
Mhm.
because I'm always the person who is going to apologize. I'm human though, you know what I'm saying? I do make mistakes. Again, I say this all the time. I have human moments, but
That's right.
but I'm always going to give empathy, and I'm always going to try to do my best when it comes to anything. And if I make a mistake, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to sympathize and empathize with anything that I've done, because at the end of the day, that's still a person.
Mhm.
I don't want to tear nobody down. Never in life. I don't.
Right.
It's not in me.
Mhm.
So I do think the people that were saying, thank you for acknowledging that, things like that. I'm always going to be that way, guys. I say it all the time. I'm always going
Mhm.
to be this way. I can't help it.
Right.
Can I
And
ask
it's
you, Mr. Debonair? Because I've heard you, and I believe you're sincere,
Mhm.
apologize over and over. And I think we all believe you're sincere. Where do you go from here? Because, like you don't have to keep apologizing for something you've
no.
apologized for.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. And
Well, I'm
so,
only apologizing
what's
because
next?
Well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
only apologizing because I did something last night, so I'm apologizing for that. I'm
All
not
right.
apologizing for everything that happened before that, because I already did that.
Gotcha.
Right now on my channel, like, I'm focusing on being positive. I'm giving out positive affirmations in the morning times. That's what I want to do, because I feel
Mhm.
like right now with the YouTube streets, we need it. We've been
Yeah.
through so much, and it's like, I hate using the word family now, because it's like it doesn't sound great, but I feel like the YouTube streets is a family right now. We have all come
Yep.
together for this, but also let's tap into the positivity. What do we get
Right.
from this? What do we learn from this? Where do we go from here? Hey, you know what? You may be in this kind of space this morning. Let me give this, this morning, because this is what I'm gonna. There's so much stuff I'm gonna do on my channel, but right now, I personally feel like we need to get some positivity out in the morning
Yep.
before the day
Yep.
starts. Let's
I
give
agree
this
with
out.
that. And
Yeah.
y'all, I don't want to
I like
slide past
that.
what Erica wrote, because that is, listen, I believe that she may not be the only person who's really experiencing this. So let's talk
Mm.
about it. Erica said, What's good is that I'm trying to reach financial freedom, okay, and
Mhm.
relocate out of state. I'm scared to leave my
Mm.
hometown, but working through my fears from paralyzing my big dreams. Well, you
I
know
can
what, sis?
Mm.
I agree with you in the spirit on that. I hope that you do. I hope
I
that
can give you some
Yeah.
advice on this.
and not only that, I hope that your destiny helper finds you.
But you
Whoever
know what
has
you have
been
to do though?
whoever has been preordained to help you achieve what you want to achieve, I pray that they find you. And then I'm gonna
Hmm.
shut up because So Debonair said he got some advice for you, and that may be something
Advice.
he's gone through. And that's what we want to do today. We're gonna have fun and we're gonna keep it light, y'all. So tell her what you think, bro.
So personally, I've taken a leap of faith in many places that I lived in.
Hmm.
I'm originally from Ohio, but I've
Hmm.
lived in Maryland, I've lived in Atlanta, I've lived in New Orleans, I've lived in Orlando. All those things, I didn't have the money to do it. I just got up and I left. And I'm not
Mhm.
telling everybody to do that because everybody cannot do that, right? But you got to get in a space. And I did a video the other day about loving myself, right? Because loving me means I can on the inside exude from what's on the inside on the outside.
Hmm.
So when you get in a space where you feel like you're uncomfortable, this is God speaking to you because He puts you in an uncomfortable place so you can move. So
Mhm.
when you feel when you actually are ready for that, He's going to help you move out of that space. He's going to make a way for you that you will never have to imagine, but you have to give God, and it's on my arm now, faith.
Yeah.
I believe in that. It's now faith. It's not that, I believe that He's going to do it one day. You got to give it to Him right now. The
Yep.
faith that God is going to move for you in that moment.
Yep.
And when you give Him that, let Him work.
Fact.
And I guarantee you, when you give Him that, you'll move.
Right. You know what? That's a good point. And I was mentioning that talking to one of my other sisters, like right before I came on here, that's one of my habits. I have a real, I don't know whether it's a bad habit or a good habit. I can plan, plan, plan. If I don't feel it, I don't move. The minute I feel something in my spirit, like now is the time,
Hmm.
I won't even be ready. I just jump.
Hmm.
I just
Yeah,
jump. And I feel like the details will take care of themselves.
Hmm.
So
that's how it works. That's
yeah,
how it works. We never have it all planned out to the T. We don't. It
yeah,
unfolds as it's happening, right? So
yeah.
yeah, do everything you can, do your part, have your faith,
Mhm.
and let God do the rest, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Afia. This is one of my newer
Mhm.
crowns. I was dying to wear it. I didn't have no excuse. That's what I'm talking about, Erica.
Yeah.
Like that's really where it's at. Like real talk. This energy is the energy I want to see. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna gossip. Please don't let me fool you.
Yeah. Oh,
Please don't let me
yeah.
fool. Let me tell you
I don't
something.
have a channel without it.
Look here. Good luck trying to get a woman not to gossip. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do it. But I feel like that gossip is just like, that triple fudge brownie. Like it tastes real good. But after you eat it, you're gonna need some detox tea.
Yeah.
Because now your stomach
Hmm.
pooched out. Now your jeans cutting into your belly meat.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And
we need
sometimes after you eat it, you're literally sick. You know,
yeah.
you can have too much of it, and it's just like, okay, I've taken in too much. Yeah, and I think that that's
Yeah.
kind of where, I mean, there certainly was the opportunity for
Mhm.
that to be the case with all of this that was going on, which that it was tripping me out because I told you I haven't watched that channel since
Mhm.
probably March.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, but I get YouTube is like, hey, we know he was watching. You might want to know this. And it's like, okay, why is like every recommendation a
Mhm.
video about this? I was like, is there anything else going on? And so, like,
Okay.
when you are a YouTuber, you tend to stay on YouTube probably more than the average person or whatever. And so it became like everything. And I'm like, this cannot be, it can't be that serious. And at the end
Okay.
of the day, we know that it's not. We know that life goes on. We know that there's, we can survive this. Yeah.
Mhm. Now
And here we are,
y'all look at what DC is
DC.
saying.
I
Now
love that comment.
DC is giving some sage words. DC is
Hmm.
giving wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
honey. Stop comparing where you are to where other people are in the journey. If it's for you, you'll have it. Not your time, but God's time.
Amen.
DC,
Amen.
DC, you preaching now. I didn't know we was having church, but amen. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
That's real.
but
That's
that's
real
real.
though.
Like I think
That's
I
good
think that's something
advice.
that a lot of people go through when you start, and I don't think it's intentional. I think it's natural to end up using your
Mm-hmm.
peers or your contemporaries as a measuring stick for where you need to be because you see them at a certain point at a certain time. But it's very important to remember that the time that they reached it was their appointed time. That was their preordained time. It wasn't yours. And I
And don't
think that when we do that, it makes us feel like we're failures. You feel like you're failing when what you're doing is just taking your journey as it was already charted. The course that your sister or your brother had wasn't your course, it wasn't your map. You know what I'm saying?
But
Your GPS said something
Yeah.
altogether different. And again, I was talking to a sister, like literally, that was saying something similar. And that's kind of what I felt from it. And I think
Mhm.
that we can't beat each other up. Not just each other, but we can't beat ourselves up. And then we have to learn to
Mm-hmm.
forgive ourselves for being human. So, Debonair, forgive
Yeah,
ourselves for being
Yes.
human because we're human. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
Like we're spirits, but we're not humans having spiritual experiences. We're spirits having human experiences. So being
Hmm.
that you still human and you still walking around in that good old meat suit, that flesh, you're gonna have moments where
Oh, not the meat suit.
you're not going to be stellar every day. You're not
Yes.
going to be a rock
Yeah,
star every
absolutely.
day. Hell,
Yes.
I can't even keep my weight down every day. It's things that we all struggle with. I don't care who you are, you failed at something. I
Hmm.
don't care who you
Absolutely.
are, you've been addicted to something. I don't care
Hmm.
who you are, you were lackluster one day. I don't care who you are, you
Absolutely.
did
At least
something
one
bad
day.
one day. So it's like, forgive
Yeah.
yourself, give yourself permission to fail. And
Yeah.
remember one thing for sure, it's like if you fail, it means you tried something. Some
Yes.
people ain't never
That's
failed, but them
right.
Negroes ain't never tried nothing.
Yes. And
Amen to that.
I'm gonna tell you this. Don't let someone else's journey discourage you. Let it inspire you because
That's right.
that's what it's there for. It's like because you're not there yet, let that inspire you to work to get there, right? My ex taught me something that I will take with me to the end of my life.
Hmm.
When bad things happen, make peace with the worst case scenario.
Yep.
Because once you
Mm.
make peace with that, the only thing you can do is go up from there.
Yep.
Because you've
Like,
made peace with that.
Yeah. After
And
you know,
you make peace
I live
with
my life
that.
like that every
Yes.
day. In bad situations, I make peace with that. The worst
hmm
thing that can happen is this. But guess what? I'm going to work to have a better outcome.
yeah, absolutely.
And you
And then I
can.
want
You always can. You
Mhm.
always can.
And I want to say this
I
real
mean,
quick. First off, real quick, some housekeeping. If you coming in, y'all, please hit the like button. If you're
Please.
not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you got your pen or your pad, Ty said what Ty said, and so debonair. Y'all enjoying these good folks? Get on over there and subscribe to them channels.
And don't forget to turn on a
But
thank
notification,
you.
but don't
turn
forget
the
the notification and
notification
hit
bells on.
all. And hit all.
Hit all.
Yes, all notifications.
But this
The
is the
bell at the
other thing.
top.
But this is the other thing I wanted to say to y'all. Okay, and this is just being honest. I don't want to just be a talking head. If you in the chat, you got something you want to say, or you feel like I ain't saying it right, I keep putting the link in the chat. You can come up on my platform and say anything you want to say. And this is for anybody. If you come to my channel, please understand you at your sister's house. You make yourself at home. You say what you want to say and you do what you want to do. Now, please don't cuss me out. Okay. Don't. I might not be that
Wow.
saved today. Okay. But anything
Hmm.
else that you feel like you want to
I
get out
am
or
not
you need
saved.
to
I
say,
will cuss you
or
out.
if you,
Give
or
me one
like,
second. Let me get my headphones. I'll be right back.
go ahead, baby. But the reality is, anything you want to say, I want y'all to say, like, you at your sister's house, be comfortable. And if you happen to be one of my young, beautiful babies, then I'm your mama sister. Come say what y'all need to say.
Your mama
Anything you
sister.
feel like you want to get off your chest. Anything.
Um, Velocity 1913 says she's trap cardio. Is about to get the business today. There's a lady on here who does. I think that she calls it trap cardio. There's a black lady on YouTube who has I believe it's a trap cardio channel,
Mm-hmm.
and she has real body black women on there exercising with her. And so, like, yeah, if that's something that y'all are into. I mean, she plays up to date current music and everything. And I can't remember. There's also a pair of black twins on YouTube who do workouts as well, and they, I'm sure, need support because they also play the type of music that will get copyright strikes and everything. So just hey, let's use this as an opportunity to just whatever is positive, let's promote it. I know I was talking to Shanitra earlier, and I told her she told me she was planning on going live, and we had our discussion about what it was going to be. And I said, I do need to work out. Like I was getting ready to work out. She caught me while I was walking the dogs. And I was like, I'm getting ready to walk the dog and go work out. And it just, hey, here we are. I'll work out a little bit later. But yeah, that's something that can help to add some positive vibes in your life too. We're more than just, what mind, body, and spirit, right? And so yeah, we getting whatever it is that we believe to feed our spirit, and we try to ingest things in our minds that aren't going to have us just trashed out and feeling yucky about ourselves or other people. But it is important, to get our physical fitness where we can, because that releases endorphins and things that make us feel good. And when you feel good, you look better. When you look better, you feel better. Those things go hand in hand. You probably end up treating everybody better, treating yourself better too. But yeah, I'm here
And you
for
know
it.
what
That
else, y'all?
workout stuff. It helps.
If you if you happen to be like me and you might not work out like you're supposed to, there's always body magic. Don't lose hope. Get you a good girdle, and a nice dress, and move around. Because that's the, that's I'm glad that we're talking about this, because I think this is something we need to handle too. We got to stop the policing of each other's bodies, and I think a lot of that happens because we're not happy with ourselves. You know,
Yes.
like
That's
she who
true.
shall not be named, was policing Lizzo's body, and then lo and behold, you a card carrying member of the Big Girls Club. Sometimes I think that we project our insecurities and how we feel about
Oh yeah,
ourselves on the other people. And I think we
for
need to stop
sure.
it. You're right, Erica. Impossible beauty standards. You absolutely cannot have everything. It's just not that. It's not that way. Everybody is not going to work out. Some of us are going to work out for a little while, and the minute we get stressed, we going to bake 2 pound cakes and eat them both, and then we going to watch Netflix. This is what's
I'm gonna
going to
tell you
happen.
right now, I'm lazy. I don't want to work out. I don't. I can't
So
help
yeah,
it. I'm sorry. I can't
And
do it.
like most men, you look like you probably don't have to. Um,
right. And
Oh no, no, listen,
but
listen,
you know
listen.
what, Ty?
I was
That's the whole point.
260. I was 260 pounds during COVID. I lost 35 pounds, but it wasn't from working out. It's because I just changed my eating habits. That's
okay.
it. I
Mm-hmm.
never went to a gym. I ain't do a push up, a pull up. I ain't walk or
Yep.
run. I just changed my eating habits. I cannot work out. It doesn't work for me. I can't do it. I'm exhausted from even thinking about doing it. So I might have worked out
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. But you know
Oh
what?
man.
I think that's the whole point. Like, everybody needs something different.
Hmm.
Everything don't work for everybody. Is what I'm
Hmm.
getting at.
Right.
So it's like
That's true.
okay, Shrink and Sharon say she loved to work out. When I was younger, I loved to
Hmm.
work out. Now I got bad knees. Hey, Marcella, we love you. Come
That's
up
my
here and holler
boo.
at us.
I love
But this is,
Marcella.
I love her too. Come on up here and holler at us, girl. But that's the whole thing, and that's why I feel like we gotta go easy on other people, and we definitely gotta go easy on ourselves. Like,
Yes.
seriously, you know what I mean? We sometimes
Yeah.
we can be our own worst enemy. We all know the right thing to do. We know we supposed to eat
Oh
vegetables,
yeah.
exercise, and drink water. We know. Are we gonna do it?
Yeah.
Man,
And the
no.
reality is
Hey,
we've been through a hard time. We just went through
Yep.
COVID. We're still going through it. We
we
owe
are.
ourselves that break. Let me tell you something. We will never get this break again in life, right? We
No,
took advantage of that. And
we
we and,
did.
and we should have. We should
Hmm.
have. Because in life we will never get that break again. So if we all
That's
gained
true.
weight during COVID, ain't nothing wrong with that because guess what? We were happy
You
at
ain't
home,
lying.
taking a break from life.
Yep.
Celebrate
Yeah.
yourself for that.
Yeah.
Amen to
But
that. We needed
But you know
that.
what though? But we need to celebrate ourselves. Period. Come
Yeah.
on now.
But
Let's
it took
be.
some of us to have that break with COVID to understand that.
But you
Yeah,
know
because
what?
look,
So
some of us didn't get that break. Like
Well,
me, I
that's
didn't
true.
get that break when COVID hit because I was so I'm a construction project manager by trade for 20 years. And lucky me, I just got this great job, 6-figure salary. I just come from a crappy paying construction management job on a military post. And then, oh, hey, can you renovate this nurse call station? Yeah, I sure can. Okay, well, here's your job. So I started working in a hospital at the beginning of COVID,
Yeah.
and ended up getting COVID in February. And then, but I still had to work. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like still working through it all. And then,
Mm-hmm.
on top of it, the usual things. Okay, the other guy who's getting paid the same as me, um, but not doing what I'm doing, who's actually getting paid better than I am. All that nonsense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I did take it as an opportunity to say, well, let's just put some effort into this YouTube thing because you're getting $1,000 here and there, $1,500 in there. What if you worked it like the way you think that you would need to as a YouTuber? And
Mm.
so I did that for the last 5 months of my 4 months of my job. And then when I saw, okay, I just need this magical number to hit consistently a few months. And then I'll know I can pay my bills. Now it's not going to be enough for me to live the lifestyle I want to live. But if I can sit down and pay my bills, I'll be able to figure out the rest. I'll be able to figure out what else I need to do. And thank God, you know, in February, in Black History Month, I was able to tell everybody to kiss my black ass. I didn't get that break that people got, but I took some time to figure out some things, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still working hard, but now I'm able to take care of myself a little bit more. I had my gym membership that I was paying for, knowing that I wasn't going to use it because I'm too tired, I'm too exhausted at the end of the day, all that stuff. So like now I actually, take advantage of that gym membership. I actually, have time to be human when someone says, hey, I just had a death in the family. I can pick up the phone and call like, hey, how are you doing? Instead of just sending a text like, oh girl, too
Yeah.
bad, so sad, like I got to get up for work in the morning. Like you get to be human now. And like,
Yep.
that's been good, for us. Just, yeah, whether it was from COVID or whatever reasons, just being able to be human, it's like we don't do that enough. We're not human enough. We don't
Right.
feel enough.
And that's why I said, I feel like we may have gotten the opportunity to relax and what have you. And like So Debonair said, let's celebrate that. I feel like we should take these lessons that we learned and move forward with it. We should have been celebrating ourselves. Let's tell the truth. We Black people in America.
Amen.
If that ain't enough
Not
reason to
easy.
celebrate, I don't know what the hell is. Like we have literally survived everything that was meant to kill us, everything that was meant to cripple us. We have turned it around for our good. Everything that they gave us as garbage, we made it gourmet. Like we have literally overcome so much and so many obstacles that other groups of our folks maybe didn't survive the way we did. And I feel like we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate ourselves. We need to celebrate each other. I'm not really for the whole competition thing. Your sister or your brother's success, that is your success. They're not your competition. And so, Debonair, you said
Should
something
be.
so real a little bit ago. I just didn't want to cut in. But the real is we are family. And we need to start regarding each other that way. It's like if you wouldn't walk up to your birth brother and call him out his name or say something mean or hateful, then maybe don't do that to your brother that you ran into at the Walmart. I don't know, something happened in us where we lost our humanity, we lost who we were, and now this is what we got.
I have a question regarding that though. So how do we now, Debonair, are you going to just stay positive with your channel? Or okay, I see. Okay. Shanice, you and we're going to keep gossiping
Oh,
on
I'm
our
glad.
channels. So yeah. So how do we balance? How do you find the balance between like, okay, I gotta do right by people. I gotta treat my brothers and sisters right, but
Mhm.
I'm still gonna gossip. Because that's also a reality. How do we keep that balance? Because it is entertaining. Let's be honest. That's why we are even fell into this stuff, to all of this mess in the first place, because the stuff is entertaining,
It's
right?
entertaining.
So how do you find the balance? What do you do to make it right? I mean, I have what I do and I think it works, but how do you like consciously try to
This
make it
right,
right?
this right here. See, for me, I don't make it right. I don't. I just live. I live in the balance. I live in balance. Is gossip low vibrational? Absolutely. And like I said, so is that darn lemon pound cake. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And just like
Mm-hmm.
I indulge in those things that are low vibrational, guess what else? When I finish that, then I gotta balance it out. And it's not to make it right for anybody. It's just so I can feel like there's some type of homeostasis. Like I need to get to a level where I am, where I feel like I'm growing and I can build from there. like you really can't build from a deficit. So it's like you
Mm-hmm.
expel a lot of energy when you gossiping, and as we say, spilling tea. This tea business done got out of hand. But
Oh
when we
yeah.
start doing that, we spending a lot of energy. So you got to do things to put that energy back, because you don't want to be in a deficit when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk. You just don't want to be in a deficit. So for me, it's about balance. Hey DJ, cousin, how you
Yeah.
doing?
Hey, Shanitra. Oh my goodness. I just bumped into your channel. How you doing?
I'm good. I hope you subscribed when you was bumping.
Oh, you know I'm gonna subscribe to you. You like my auntie evangelist. That's all.
Well, you know what?
I
I'll take that. I'll take that. I ain't mad.
well actually you can't be my auntie. You more like a sister. We're too close in age.
That's
But
true.
I will say this. Thank you for inviting me on your show today. I saw the title of the show and surviving the avatar, and I think I have a sneaking suspicion what this show was a little bit about, and taking care of self care and making sure you're making it and surviving it through this crazy
Not,
season, which is going to
not,
get even crazier.
but now DJ, correction. The title of this live was
Uh,
Avatar
Mm-hmm.
Detox, because we got to
oh,
detox from this
detox.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
How we move forward.
Yeah,
how do you
I
move
don't do no
forward?
more.
Yeah, it's a
I
little
don't
bit
want
too
more.
much.
Yeah.
I
It is a
mean,
little bit too much. And
because I
last
was trying to
night
keep it
was
clean,
a
DJ.
lot.
Yes, it was too much. And mind you, I said Avatar Detox because I was trying to keep it clean. I really felt like we needed an Avatar enema, but I figured that may not be
Oh.
palatable for everybody.
Oh boy.
So we're gonna stick with
Yeah.
detox.
You might be right. You might have to go ahead and do something really immediately. But you know what's what's going to help us in this time is to really recognize what are the downfalls and the disconnects in these kinds of broken relationships, because they happen so often in our community. And
Mm-hmm.
I hate to bring this up. I know we're getting ready to celebrate Juneteenth, and
Mm-hmm.
yes, President Biden put the stamp of approval of a national holiday. Even with that, we still have a problem with what is happening, because a lot of us have controversial situations going on in our community. We're not
Mm-hmm.
having the conversation on education. We're not having the
Mm-hmm.
conversation on student loan debt. We're not having a conversation on reparations. We're not having a
Mm.
conversation on so many various different things. But
That's
my
right.
point that I'm trying to make is that us as a people, um, we have to own the part of that we still have that mentality of being crabs in the bucket,
Yeah.
and we're not people.
Mhm.
We're not working. I don't want to say we're not working, but we're not doing the work that's
Mm-hmm.
needed to constantly uplift people like So Debonair, people like Marcella. We're not constantly Shanitra. We're not constantly doing the work of lifting each other up to the place that we need to be. We should be upholding each other in high esteem
Mm-hmm.
over ourselves, over anyone else. We should be making sure that we're keeping each other lifted up and strong, because we who else is going to hold us up? We're holding each other up. If we don't have each other to hold each other up, then who do we have? Because we've been fought down, we've been beat down for so long, we've been oppressed, we've been stolen, we've been beaten, we've been raped, we've been ostracized as a people, as a whole. So I
Right.
think that even with the disconnect that happened with that other show,
Yeah.
who will remain nameless, you can see that communication is like the key. So maybe in all of this, if we as a people can learn anything, just talk to one another. Don't talk about people. And this is one of my core values that I follow.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about people. Talk to them.
That's
You
right.
know what,
Now
DJ? Now
that
that's on point. And let me piggyback on that. If I can.
Mhm.
Um, Absolutely, I agree with you on that. And what I want to add to it is, even if the person is in the wrong, even if
Mhm.
they're absolutely wrong, like there's no way about it, there's no gray area, like they just wrong as two left shoes. I still think that a conversation should be had. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If for no
Yeah.
other reason, just to let this person know how you feel. You know, there's a
Right.
there's a quote that I do remember. that kind of loosely goes that, you know, if you don't speak up when they're beating you, they'll kill you and tell people that you enjoyed it. Like you have to let people know, you know, how you
Yeah.
feel about things. And the truth of the matter is, you know, we teach people how to treat us. We
Mm-hmm.
do. So the first time somebody does something to step on your foot and you don't say something, you just told them that that was okay. You know,
Absolutely.
the first
Right.
time somebody talks to you out of turn, calls you out your name, makes you feel bad, and you allow it and you don't speak up, you're teaching them that that is the proper way to handle you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why a lot of times within us, when we see people going through things or we see people indulging in situations and they talk about it later, then it starts to look like, well, you must have liked it. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that's not true from personal experience. I've gone through things when I was younger before I learned to open this big old mouth that, hey, you didn't like it, but you didn't want the conflict. You didn't want the confrontation. So you didn't speak up.
Right.
And so it takes a certain level of not just accountability, but it takes courage to be able
Mm-hmm.
to say, you know what, regardless of the outcome, we're going to have this conversation. Regardless of where we land after, we're going to go ahead and let it fly and let the chips fall where they may. But we have to, you
And
know, I think that's a part of accountability. We have to be accountable for how we teach people to treat us, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
relationships, whether it's friendships, whether it's business associates. We teach people how to treat us, you know, and that
That's good
doesn't mean
stuff.
you have to jump bad and cuss nobody out and, you know,
Right.
get all gutter and whatnot. Please don't, if you can help it. But at the same time, if you do something that makes me feel bad, I feel like I can say to you, I didn't like what you did. I didn't like how
Mm-hmm.
it made me feel. How that made
Not
me
only
feel.
do
absolutely.
you have the right
And
to
it should
feel that
not.
way, but you have the right to say how you feel. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You have
Well,
the right.
that's
I
true,
mean, and you
but it
cannot
doesn't have to
allow
turn
people.
into. I'm sorry.
You cannot allow people to control the narrative of your life. At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, you have to be your advocate. You have to be your person that speaks on your behalf. And I was having this conversation with my sister. I didn't mean to cut you off, Queen. I don't know what your name is, but you look
That's
like a queen.
time.
Hi.
Hi, Ty. I
Hi.
was having this conversations with my sisters on yesterday because they have children. I don't have any children. And sometimes I find myself in the equal balance of, you know, do I say something or do I not say something? But I saw that my nieces sometimes take advantage of their parents'
Mhm.
love and care for them. And
Mm-hmm.
and um, instead of kind of stopping it at the door as a parent, we fall into that trap of wanting to please our children. We fall into that trap of wanting to please the next generation instead of
Mhm.
saying, you know what, this is going to be a no, and that's it. This is taking me out of my comfort zone or my way of living, and it's changing the direction in which I want to take my life today. And I'm just going to tell you no. It's
Mhm.
okay for you to tell people no. It's okay for you to tell people, you know what, I don't particularly think that that was funny. I don't particularly like your sick joke. It's okay for you to say those kinds of things. And we have, as a people, have to respect one
Mhm.
another in our
Absolutely.
place, in our opinion. Because if we want respect, we have to give it. It's not a
That's true.
one sided conversation. I'm sorry if I took this another direction, but it's all about
You feel
building
you
each
listen
other
to
up.
everybody.
You
DJ,
speaking
you
good
Well,
know.
though.
About to say,
I was
DJ, you
going to
not new to
say,
me. You know me. You know when you're around me, everybody should speak their mind. Ty, give it to
Mm-hmm.
us, girl. What you got?
no, I was along with what you were saying as far as when you feel that someone has done something to you that you don't like and needing to speak out and tell that person. We also have to approach these things with the understanding that just because I'm telling someone that they did
Mm-hmm.
something that I don't like doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily go to a point of conflict.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are unaware. They're doing things that you don't like, and they're just unaware because maybe no one else has ever told them. Some
Mm-hmm.
people are just those personalities, those alpha personalities that no one wants to say, oh, like, because she might
Mm-hmm.
just tear my head off or whatever. But like if we come to the person, whoever this person is, um, it in a respectful way, not, on some rah-rah stuff, but just, hey, you know how you said whatever, whatever. I didn't really like that. And,
Yep.
if you just don't do that again, whatever. It usually is just going to be, oh, okay, I'm sorry, and then you can
Right.
move forward. But I think that a lot of times we don't go and
Yep.
tell someone how we think, how we felt we were disrespected or what we didn't like that was done, because we assume there's going to be conflict after that. And people don't naturally like conflict. We like to watch conflict when it doesn't involve ourselves. We like to watch it happen, but we don't
That's
want to
true.
be on either end of it. And
No.
so, yeah, anything to avoid conflict, but no, it can't be that way, because then what ends up happening is that you end up building a resentment that just builds and builds and builds until one day you explode, and then it does turn into conflict, when
Yep.
you could have just at the very beginning said, hey,
And
this
put
isn't
a
working
and
out for
just
me. I
But
don't
you,
like it, and put a stop to it.
yeah.
you also have to realize that that's a scary thing for a lot of people,
It is.
because a lot of
Mhm.
us don't want to cause problems, right?
Mhm.
So
Right.
addressing an issue is scary for a lot of people,
It
because
is.
for me, I can give myself an example. I hate confrontation. So if I
Mhm.
feel like you done me wrong, sometimes I will eat it, right? Because I'm like, you know what? I know the person, they didn't mean it this way, but it starts to build up, and it becomes resentment after a while, right? And
Mhm.
so becoming an adult, you learn that you actually have to say that this bothered me,
Right.
because
Right.
what you think in your own mind is not what's really happening. And it also starts to create a narrative in your own mind that this person is really trying to hurt me, when in reality I just never said anything because I didn't want to
Right.
cause a problem.
Right.
And
That's
So
exactly what I'm
and let me
saying.
say
We
something
go
else.
yeah,
through life.
Let me
but
say
I
something
wanted
Mhm.
to I wanted to
else.
I wanted to give that whole thing out, because
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
but there's also another side to that, where it is that person feeling like they don't want to cause a problem.
Right.
But in
Yeah,
in
that's
in life,
exactly what I'm saying.
yeah, but the other person on the other side who's doing that has to realize, like, it doesn't always end in doom and gloom. It actually causes the other person to understand, hey, I don't like
Right.
this.
Absolutely. I
Right.
totally
And
It's
agree.
this is
never
what
it's never going to be as bad as you think if you're just having a conversation. It gets out
Yeah.
of hand by the time you built up resentment now, and now
Mhm.
you're going to that person. Now you have an attitude because you keep doing this, even though I never told you I don't like it. You kept doing this. And so now I'm coming to you, and it's gonna be a conflict because of the way I feel at this point. When if
okay.
you would have
Mhm.
just said 10 days ago, hey,
Yeah.
don't do that. But now to the person who feels offended, now this person just keeps doing it over and over and
Yeah.
over. And so now I'm coming to you with an attitude. Now it's going to be conflict. But yeah,
Yeah.
the first time you
And
just cut it off, then
that girl Janae you just put up, I apologize for that at the beginning of this live. So if you want
Yes,
to go
he
back and
did.
hear what I said,
You know
I
what?
did
I
apologize
was
for that.
gonna, and you know what? I was gonna address that. And the reason I was really gonna address it, it not even to say, oh, you addressed it earlier. I was going to address it just to
Mhm.
to make the point I was trying to make, but I didn't want to interrupt Ty, DJ, or So Debonair, because y'all was giving some real heavy truth, and we needed that. But the
Mhm.
point I wanted to make with it is, and this is not, Janai, to say that it was a judgy thing for you, because I know it wasn't, because I saw the LOL, so I know you were having a kiki, and that's cool. I invite the kiki, all of it. But what I'm getting at, and what I wanted to add is, where we all are now, all of us talking, okay? We're speaking from where we are now at this level of our maturation. Now we know to teach
mhm,
people the way we want to be dealt with. We know
Mhm.
now to teach people to, as you say, Ty, nip it in the bud. Just
Mhm.
nip it all the way in the bud. I'm trying, darling. I think I got it up. I hope y'all can hear me. But
I hear you fine.
what I'm saying is,
Me too.
at the end of it all, just because we have reached this level of maturation, we have to be careful to be patient with those who have not
Mhm.
gotten there yet. Because
Right.
if
Mhm.
we're all
Mhm.
extremely honest, we remember when we were not where we
Mhm.
are. We
Right.
remember
Right.
who we were before we got to this point. Okay?
Mhm.
Now, I remember a Shanitra that would have literally cussed you out, chased you down, and beat you half to death. Now, that's just the truth. I'm telling you
Not
what
my
the truth is.
Shanitra, not my evangelist.
I don't
That's
believe
how I
that.
feel. That's how I feel too. I feel the same way. Not my Sinitra.
But I'm just, but real talk, I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not somebody who's gonna walk around like, I floated down from heaven on a cloud and I was born in a baptismal pool. That's a lie. So we
Right.
And
have
I
to
can get
be. We
I
have
can
to
give
be
you guys a.
honest and patient. Hold on, baby. You got to be
I'm sorry.
patient with the ones that are not there. And then we put so much emphasis on age, that number on the calendar. You got some people that's 60 that's as immature as a 15-year-old. And that ain't
Yeah.
nothing but facts.
Mhm. I'll give you guys a really good example. And because Marcella is here, I want to do this. And we've already talked, so I understand this. I was mad at Marcella. I genuinely was mad at her because I felt like Marcella did not have my best interest at heart. And me and Marcella had a great relationship. And I felt a shift in our friendship. But guess what? When Marcella called me and we had another conversation, all that went out the window because we had a conversation. So for me, I'm always going to be that guy. If you want to come and talk to me and we can squash it, and you gonna come to me and be honest, I'm gonna give you that because ain't nobody on this earth worth hating for the rest of my life.
No.
It's just
Amen to
not worth it.
that.
That causes stress on my life and your life.
Yes.
And can I
So
say this? I,
Yeah.
I, I don't mean to cut you off, so Debonair, but I want to say in my watching and paying attention to you on live that you have been very consistent in owning your place in whatever you do.
thank you.
And whether it's good
Absolutely.
or bad, and apologizing for how you make someone else feel. And so I have to say that. I mean, you may have bad feelings, or you may, you and Marcelo may not have been on the same page, but at the end of the day, you make sure one way or another that she really understands that it's coming from a good place, or whoever it is that you're dealing with. And I want to commend you on that. And I think that's
Thank you.
another point that we as a people need to work on. Just like what Monique said about the bonnet situation. I don't want to even bring it up because it's just a
Lord, don't you
controversy
bring
among
it,
the women.
DJ.
But
DJ.
when she
Don't you
brought it
bring it.
up, I'm just going to take what she said, not what she said, how she said it. She came across very, very loving in her delivery. But because of what she said, it really messed up everybody. I mean, the communication, the conversation was all over the place. People took it all different types of ways. And this goes to Queen Ty. You can say something so eloquently, so nice and so kind, but we as a people have got to get to the point where we take the meat and throw away the bones. Just stop with the
Mm-hmm.
foolishness. What she was trying to say is take care of yourself. Show your best self. Show your best
Mhm.
pride. That's what I felt she was trying to say. But people took the one statement and then they ran with it. Oh, we can't wear do rags. I'll wear a do rag. Oh, we can't wear scarves on our head. I'm trying to protect my protective styles, and I'm just using that as an example of how we do and deal in our community. I think we really need to do a better job of finding what is good about what this person is saying and take that and let that manifest in our life.
Can I say? I want to say this. I
Yes.
don't think that people understand in real life. Some of us have never apologized, right? So
Mm.
going through my marriage, I realized my mother has never apologized about anything, right?
Mm.
She doesn't say I'm sorry. It's like I'm sorry is an action. It's not a word.
Mm-hmm.
So through my marriage, I learned that a lot of our conflict was that I never said I'm sorry. I just showed that I was sorry. But if you
Mm-hmm.
guys are into love languages, that's actually like an actual love language where
Mhm.
people
Right.
need to apologize in a certain type of way to understand that you are sorry, right?
Mhm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
after we broke up, I had to go back and address that
Mhm.
because I did wrong. He did wrong. So I don't think that everybody understands that an apology in whatever way that your love language, you speak that means something, but you have to understand what that person needs for an apology.
Mhm.
Because if I say I'm sorry to you, but your love language is I need you to show it to me, it's still
Mhm.
not an
Mm-hmm.
apology.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's
we,
not a
and
finished work.
yeah,
Exactly.
and I think if anybody on here take that test so you know what your apology love language is, so that when you are, with your friendship, with your dating situation, you understand what it means to you. So when you are having friendships or relationships, when people are apologizing to you, you know what you need.
Man,
Mhm.
I
Yeah. For
love this
me,
conversation. I really do.
any apology requires corrective action if it's real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't like the person who, doesn't have a problem saying I'm sorry, but then doesn't have a problem repeating that offense. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be followed through with corrective action, or
But there are
it
some
doesn't
people, but there
matter.
are some people who just need to hear the words though, and that's real.
Yeah, yeah,
They don't need
absolutely.
the
That
action.
That's
that is true. That is true. Yeah,
and
you're
what
right.
was you
You're
about to say,
right.
DJ? What were you about to say, DJ?
No, I was just saying that I really, really love this conversation because I really think this is going to challenge us to grow as a
Hmm.
people
Hmm.
and as a unit. So when you're saying a detox from the avatar, what that really looks like for me, and I'm taking this on, is how am I dealing with conflict? How am
Yep.
I dealing with people that look like me? You know,
Yep.
That's the
we
point.
we we um we often think because the person looks like us they will respond as we do. That's not
Right.
always true. That's not always the case. So we're putting
Rarely
people in a
true.
box. We're classifying. We're starting to now categorize our blackness when what we should do is really get to know and understand the person. How do you understand and learn and get to know a person who hides behind an avatar?
Hmm.
And
Well, but this is the
I'm
but
gonna
this is the
piggyback
thing,
off of
DJ.
stuff Debonair.
I don't want to delve into that too heavy because I'm gonna tell you why, and it's probably not for
Hmm.
the reason you might think, but because let's really, by the time we get into all the masks that people wear, we'll be here
Mm,
all night. People wear
Hmm.
yeah,
masks every day. You
that's
got
Hmm.
true.
people that literally will go around telling self-degrading, self-denigrating jokes, and that's a mask. They're putting that on to hide the fact that they're really hurting about where they are or even how they perceive themselves. You have people
Hmm.
wearing
Hmm.
masks about their sexuality. You have
Hmm.
people
Hmm.
wearing masks about their religious beliefs. You got people
Hmm.
Hmm.
wearing masks about even how they feel about their own people and racial consciousness. So
Hmm.
that's the only reason I'm not really trying to get into that because, like, I'm glad that that's your takeaway. But the whole point of me having this crown therapy today, because I want everybody to have a feel good moment, a growing moment, a peaceful moment, an insightful moment, is that whatever you take away from it is the right answer. I don't want anybody to feel like it's not the right answer. Hey, Vivian Clark, it's always the right answer. If you took away that from it, if you took away the lesson of accountability, if you took away the lesson of taking off that goddamn mask and just living
Mm,
in your truth, whatever lesson you took away from this, like the point I want to get across today more than anything is I don't care what happens, there is a lesson for you to take away from it. There's
mhm.
Hmm.
something that you can take
Right.
away from it.
Right. The avatar is a microcosm of a much bigger issue.
Bigger.
Bigger.
And whether
Mm,
it's something
Hmm.
that exists here on YouTube or in our daily lives or just within ourselves. Because yeah, and I know DJ, you got here a little bit late. And so we kind of already dealt with her. And the decision was that okay, we can want whatever we want for her and hope that she does this and she does that. But what we can change is how we move forward. What we can change is how we deal with ourselves. And we're looking at the positivity that came from all that confusion, from all that, it was a ball of confusion. It's crazy. But look
mhm.
at, So Debonair, his platform's blowing up here. And
Yeah.
every time that I've looked at any live that's got anything to do with this, all that I see is positive responses about Debonair and how he handled things and how, he's moving forward and how he even handled things in the situation. And so it's just, okay, so what do we do to be better to ourselves, to be better to each other, to be better, whether it's on this platform or in your
Mhm.
offices or with your families or whatever? There was a lesson to be learned. And,
Yep.
yeah, the avatar, as far as that's concerned, I just kind of feel like we should have pity, maybe. Maybe she'll come out and understand some things differently. Maybe she won't. Maybe she will. Maybe she already does. I know I'm glad it's not me because at any given moment, it could be any of us YouTubers on blast or whatever,
Hmm.
But
And
not just
look,
and not just that.
honestly,
Like look at life. Like in life, you can be. Listen, y'all. Even this business that we deal in, talking about the news, the current events, celebrity gossip, reality TV gossip, people get exposed every day, and it ain't just on YouTube.
yes,
People get
yes,
exposed for all kind of
exactly.
stuff. The preachers get exposed. The deacon, the
Right.
head deacon sneaking over the sister
Yeah,
Evan at the house. All that stuff. and it happens, and it happens when you're wearing those masks. And that's why I'm saying, like, that's why I don't want to get into. I honestly, if I got to be real, I feel like that's a whole conversation for another day, and maybe we'll come back
Hmm.
and do another crown therapy, and we'll talk about those
I
masks.
think that
And maybe
conversation's been had.
no, but I don't honestly, sis, I feel like it really ain't been had. I feel like people have glossed over it and played games because the people who were
Mm,
talking were not willing to shed their own mask and be honest. You know, the
well, that's a whole nother
transparency,
story.
the vulnerability, and being honest, and really understanding that if you're going to talk about a subject that affects everybody, in order to be fair to everybody, you got to give people honesty. Honesty is something you owe people. You owe them honesty. And I feel like
Right.
True.
when you
You
when
do
you
owe people honesty,
you owe them honesty,
but
and especially your own people. You owe your people honesty, and when you dare to deceive, you're no better than a thief. So it's a lot of
it is true.
conversations that we as a community do not have, not in a very real way. We don't. We pussyfoot around, we tiptoe around feelings, we try to guard our own vulnerabilities. You want to make sure people don't know too much about you because you're afraid they're going to judge you because you know you've been
Right.
judging folks. So this is the kind
Right.
of thing that we got to get into. You got to, in order to heal, sometimes you got to pick the scab off. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. But no, and I don't disagree with that at all. But again, we can't make anybody do what they're supposed to
No,
do. We can
but
make
we what we
ourselves do
represent.
what we're supposed to
Exactly.
do.
But that's what I'm getting at,
Mm-hmm.
Todd. We are responsible for ourselves. I said it like early on when we first started chatting up here.
Right.
We're
Right.
I'm not responsible for what you do to me. I'm
Hmm.
responsible for how I respond to it. I can't
Absolutely.
That's
control
right.
That's true.
nothing you do to me. If I live 100 years, I can't control nothing nobody does to me. I can
That's
only
very
That's
true.
right.
control how I respond to it, and how you
Mm-hmm.
respond to the things that happen to us that are negative and unpleasant. To me, that's what really speaks to your character.
But
Like
do you know how
Yeah.
big of a lesson that
no,
is, though, for people to hear you say
I
that, though?
know.
Like that's huge because we don't look at life like that. What we look at is what we're owed, what's owed to us, right?
Right.
Everything that's owed to you, you forget it paid for that. So you got to take the
Mm,
life lesson and eat it. You know what I'm
You got
saying?
to.
And I love that you said that because it's about you and your accountability and how you handle things and how you respond to things. And which is why I'm always apologetic when I get out of pocket to my own self, because this
Right.
is me self-evaluating me. It's not about
Mm-hmm.
everybody else. It's about how I evaluate what I did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yep.
I know that the world's going to say a lot of things. But what I'm responsible for is what I did and how I felt and what I did, the way that I did things. So I'm always going
mm-hmm.
to try to take responsibility for the
Mm-hmm.
things that I do, regardless. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to beat
Yeah.
me up in the inbox because I'm already doing that. After I realized what I did,
Right.
I'm already
Right.
doing that. So I don't need you to do it. But you know what? Thank you, because it's making me know that what I'm holding myself accountable for, you seen it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, as a
Mm-hmm.
human being and to be a genuine person,
Yeah.
it makes me feel even better that, hey, yo, if you subscribe to my channel, hold me accountable because I
Right.
Right.
want to be held accountable. I don't want to be a person where I don't care what everybody else says, although I know I can't take on what everybody says. But if I'm resonating with the things that I've already
Mm-hmm.
feeling and somebody says it, we in line. You know what
That's
I'm
just
saying?
confirmation.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to
Yeah.
be an egotistical individual or a
No.
prideful individual, because those kind of individuals are only, they're right in their own eyes. And so
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
when you can really take a deeper look from within and see what are my flaws, what are the things that I need to be working on, and can I stay true to that? And can I actually be transparent and open with people and say, you know what, I'm not a good communicator. I had to tell somebody that I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't return phone calls all the time. Please don't hold that against me. I'm letting you know that I don't always respond. And it's not because you're a horrible person, or it's not because I don't like the friendship we have. This is a character flaw of mine. I can be honest with that. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
good. I want to work on it. I want to try so hard to work on it. I was looking at how and this was a lesson for me this morning. I was out of the blue, I decided to wake up and bake a cake. And Sanitra, you were talking about a lemon Pound cake. I done
Mhm.
got up, went in the kitchen and made me a lemon pound cake, right? I did all the stuff right. I had all the right ingredients. I did everything right. I blended it well. I made sure that it tasted well. I liked the batter. I had the oven preheated to 350 degrees. I was ready for this pound cake, and I was ready to see the results of this pound cake. I put the pound cake in the oven, cooked it for the right amount of time, took the pound cake out, let it sit, waiting for the pound cake to sit and cool. I get impatient. So then I start to take the pound cake out of the pan before I'm supposed to. And guess
And you
what?
tore it up, right?
I tore up the
Yeah.
pound cake. I
Yep, that's
learned
what you
something
did.
very, very important this morning. Sometimes you can be doing a whole lot of the things right, but one little thing will cause the whole thing to be totally ruined. One little
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
It could be one little thing. And I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys have actually touched on how players handled the situation of the disconnected communication with her superior or whoever. I don't even want to say superior. I'll say counterpart, because really they made the show. I'm gonna leave it at that. Um, but there was a whole lot of things that she did right, and still at the end of the day, everybody took was wrong. You
Mhm.
know, you should have went to her. You should have did, and it's always going to be something in our community. I just really want us to get in for us as a community. I don't care about the other folks. I just want us as a people to really take an introspective look from within. Find a way to be patient with one another. Be kind to one another. Deal with each other in the same way that we would like to be dealt with, in love and in the spirit of love, and not
Mhm.
blasting everybody online. You know, go back to my core value. Talk to people. Don't talk about people first. Now, if they want to be exposed afterwards and they do things that keeps exposing themselves, let them expose themselves. But go to them first. People,
Yeah.
don't talk about people, because that creates more of a problem. I know we do celebrity gossip and stuff like that for entertainment purposes, but I'm always trying to look for the lesson in what I've seen on TV. I don't know if that's what you all do, but that's what I do. I try to look for the lesson. Like, what can I learn from this?
Let me say one thing real quick. I know there's bots in this chat, so do
Hmm.
not defend me in this chat because there's
Yeah.
bots down here. I've already addressed last night. So if they haven't gone
Mm.
back to the beginning, drop it because I don't want y'all to
Yeah.
get involved. Like this is about positivity and waking up to a new day
Yeah.
and
Right.
being great. Don't address that stuff in the comments because those are bots that people send over here. I've already addressed that. So if you guys are offended, listen to the beginning. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Sunita, go ahead.
Seriously. No,
Exactly.
I'm glad you said that. I didn't even realize that was going on. But yeah,
No,
if you,
I saw it, but I
yeah,
wasn't going to address it because right now I made a decision, and I think that's what we all have to do. When you make a decision of where you want to vibrate, of how you want to radiate
Yeah,
and show your energy, show your light, your aura, whatever you want to call it, you don't allow somebody else to make that decision for you or to change your
Right.
decision. We decided we want to be positive. We want to be little balls of light and beautiful and happy, and so that's what we're gonna do. So if I
yeah,
see you saying
yeah,
something ugly, guess what? I'm not even gonna block you, sugar. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
block you. I'm not gonna address you. I'm gonna do for you what the devil won't do, and that's leave you alone. That's what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
I don't care about any of that foolishness. Like at the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror and answer for you. I can't
Mhm.
answer for nobody but me.
Right.
I can only be accountable for Shanitra. And I hope that whoever, is doing something inappropriate, you can only be accountable for you. We talking about accountability and all this good stuff.
right.
You know, if
I
I
ask
set
you to check the vibe of the room. Like that's not what's going on here.
yep,
right. The
it's
temperature.
like,
Look at the temperature gauge. Come on now. We're trying.
yeah,
We have
Right.
high vibrations of motivation. I love the
Mhm.
conversation and how we're uplifting each other and holding each other accountable to being better and doing better as a people. I love it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. And if you're looking for something else, it's out there. Like
it's like
if
this.
you're
I
on low
promise you,
vibrational BS, it's like probably at least three other streams going on right now where you'll fit in
they
just
got it for you.
fine.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
know what,
Yeah.
and that's okay. If that's what you need, that's okay. I'm not even mad at you,
Right.
sweetheart. But
Hmm.
you know, it just
There's
comes
something
down
for
to
everyone out here.
it comes down to, you know, like I told my children when I was raising them, you know, there's no such thing as can't help it. We're not animals. Animals can't help it. You know, animals can't help it. Like everybody
Say
knows,
that
like
again.
my
Say that again. Say it again. Say it again. Say it
okay,
again.
one more time for the people in the back. There's no such
Hmm.
thing as can't help it because we are not animals. Animals
That's
can't
right.
help it. You know, the reality is a lot of times we give ourselves ways out. We give ourselves cop outs. Oh, that's just my personality. That's just who
Hmm.
I am. I can't help that. That's just me.
I can't
That is,
change.
let me
I'm
tell
too
you something.
old to change.
That is a lie from the pits of hell. There's only an animal
Hmm.
that cannot help themselves. I told my children that growing up, when they pulled that, you know, mama, I couldn't help it. I told their behinds up. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not one of these new mamas that said, okay, you get a timeout and I'm gonna talk to you and take your snacks. No, I'm gonna tear your behind up and you go in there and clean my kitchen. That's how we gonna do this. But they couldn't come to me and tell me nonsense about you can't help it. And more, I'm seeing grown folks, full grown people, telling me they couldn't help it. This is just me. This is just how I am. Honey, please stop excusing yourself. Just
That's
stop
a
it.
choice.
It's a
It's a
choice.
choice.
So it's like and I said all that to say this. When someone mistreats you, when someone says something you don't like, if they do something to you and you know it's wrong, there's no such thing as, well, I just had to and I couldn't hold it because she said that and she plucked my nerve. That is bull crap. That was
Yeah.
bull crap. Pilar Sugar, you didn't get the memo, did you, baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they keep
It's
talking about. That's what they
okay.
talking about in the chat.
That's all right. God bless your heart.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, when
Yeah,
I talked to Shanitra before, when she was asking me about, this stream, and my question to her, because that's the question now. Who is she? Who is she? And I said, okay, well, everyone's investing so much time into finding this out. What happens when we find out? Are we all going to get together and go beat somebody's behind? Are we all going to like file a class action lawsuit for, false advertisement or false entertainment? Like, no. Okay, we know what happened. We saw what happened, and that is it. And now something else has to happen. It is a new day and we have to move forward. What I do know is that something happened over there, but I know that at least 5, 6 people now have their own successful platforms because of it. That is a
Right.
wonderful place to take off from. And who cares about the rest? Either she's going to decide to get it together or she's not. But these people who put in a lot of time doing some things, that maybe a lot of us wouldn't have done, but who a lot of us who are here right now were entertained by, they put in a lot of time over there. And so the
Okay.
fact that they are able to have their own platforms, their own personal
Mm-hmm.
platforms, spring off and get an uptake from this surge of insanity is a good thing. So
Yeah.
can we
And
just
then
move on from there?
yeah, let me just address this real quick. Pilar, absolutely, absolutely, sis. I feel you. You did miss the apology, and I appreciate you acknowledging that maybe you missed it. And that's cool. That's cool because I don't want us to be that kind of people either. That we can't get over something. Somebody said something or spoke out of turn that we just can't get over. We holding on to it and going
Right.
on and on. So reality, sis, I appreciate you acknowledging that. But yeah, you did miss it. Like what we're doing now, because you probably did come late, we're just having a healing restorative chat with the fam. We just sitting up here putting out good energy, enjoying ourselves, and talking about the positive takeaway from all the toxicity that we all drank up last night. Okay, that's all we doing, baby. But I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you, acknowledging and kind of peeping what happened. I really appreciate that. Absolutely,
So,
that's all I'm saying.
Miss Shanitra,
Mm-hmm.
um, what elevates the nation? What elevates a nation?
Well,
Humility. What causes a fall in a
pride.
nation?
Mm.
Pride. So if we can learn these two factors and we look at these two factors in everything that we do, just, you see something fall, you see something broke, you see something disconnect, understand that pride is happening, understand that ego is happening. Somebody needs to learn from where they thought they were humble. They thought they were were an humble person, but because this thing has happened to cause for it to fall, it had to be pride in the chemistry. If you want to see something that is elevated, that is going up, that is going higher, then you want to you want to be introduced to somebody who is humble,
Yeah.
who has humility, who can take. You know what? I may not have seen it that way, but I'm sorry. I apologize. You know what? Preferring the other person over themselves. That's what's going to cause for us as a people to grow and to be strengthened. We've got to be able to take one for the team sometimes. You know what? I'm gonna take one. I could take this one. I'll take this one and put this one on my shoulders. You know what? I'll take the ownership of this. And you know what? We can grow from this and be better. It doesn't even have
Hmm.
to be a whole fallout. It doesn't have to be a smear campaign and a whole just this ugly behavior that everybody's expecting from us as a people.
Well,
We could
I
really
mean,
grow from it.
but this is the thing, I mean this sincerely. I feel like we do have a responsibility to each other. I was talking with So Debonair earlier, and I told him like I have a theory and a thought process about myself. I feel like I belong to the people. I don't belong to any one person. I don't just belong to myself. I belong to the people. And I think that we all have to look at ourselves from a different standpoint. We can't just be about ourselves and what makes us comfortable, what makes us feel good. Sometimes it would feel good to just snap and act a fool, just act a pure monkey. But is that gonna help you? No, and you're gonna feel real stupid afterwards. So,
Yeah.
Afterwards,
it's a
yeah.
lot of things that we can do that's self-serving, that's self-satisfying for the moment. But I think when we start to think outside the box and really understand that we're responsible to each other and we belong to each other, then you move differently. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, perfect example, those of us who are parents, and I think I'm the only parent up here today, but parents
I have
when we
four-legged children.
yeah, you got fur babies.
Yeah,
And
and I'm
so
everybody's daddy.
right, so it's like when we have children, we move different because we're responsible for those children. We see ourselves as belonging to those children. There's certain things we're not going to do because it's not good for those children. But then when it comes to our brothers and sisters, that may have different mothers, same mama, whatever, you just met them last week. We don't move that way because it's like we're not understanding that we do have a responsibility to each other. You know what I mean? Like anybody who knows me know I mother everybody's children. I'm everybody's mama. But when I say that, it's not some fictitious nonsense. It's the fact that I feel responsible for everybody's children. If I see yours messing up, I'm gonna bring them to you. If you get mad at me, you just get mad. You won't die. But at the
Right.
same time, if I see them hungry, I'm gonna give them a sandwich. If they need a jacket, I'm gonna get them one if I gotta buy it. If they're cutting up, I'm gonna tell them to stop. Like we have to have that type of, camaraderie, responsibility, and just what I'm getting at, y'all. And
Yeah.
But
that.
I want to say this. Let me say this. You did that with me this morning, right? You
Mhm,
seen me, right?
mhm,
Sinitra hit me up this morning on Instagram. She said, "Hey, can I call you?" And I said, "Absolutely. I love you. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada." We had never talked before today on the phone at all.
mhm,
But what she felt that I needed, she did that with me this morning. And what
Mhm.
she spilled back into me gave me life again because I was exhausted this morning when I woke up. I literally wanted to lay in the bed and not even get up because I was so exhausted from everything. But that's the kind of energy that we need around us. People who see you and understand the fact that, hey, my brother or my sister have been going through some things. I need to
mhm.
build this brother or this sister back up
Yes.
because
Yes.
obviously I'm seeing something that this person is going through. And as
Mhm.
Black people, we don't really do that a lot. You
We
know what I'm
don't.
saying? We don't build each other up. We try to hold each other back down or keep them at the level that we're at
Oh,
or bring them below us and bring them.
people like to kick you while you're down.
Yeah, and they will kick you while you down. But that's
And
what I
Yep.
that
love
in itself
is
is
that Tanisha this
systemic as
morning,
well.
that's what I love about her because this morning I needed that. And I will always love you for that. I'm always going to give you the big ups on that because I needed you this morning. And literally, I don't know her from a can of paint, but she felt me last night. And this morning, it said on her heart last night, she gave me what I needed this morning.
That's my
Yeah.
evangelist. I tell you the
That's the
truth.
Shanitra I know. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I can't even say I'm surprised.
Right.
That's who I know. Yeah. So I love to hear it. It doesn't surprise me. And I want to shout out to all the people who are here
Yeah.
watching and enjoying the tone of the conversation. Because again, it took all of us to get this thing to be what it was. And
Yeah.
it's going to take us to make up our minds that this isn't the direction that we want to go. And so shout out to all of you for saying, hey, we can all admit, hey, it was entertaining, like, wow, but I've had enough. Like, there's got
Yeah.
to be something else going
Yeah.
on. So shout out to y'all for just wanting
Yeah.
something different, for, stepping above what's going on, for being above it, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Give
thank you,
yourself a
Sneaker,
pat
for
on the
building
back
this
because it's
platform.
still
Definitely.
going on.
Definitely. And for being willing to come in here with us and detox. I feel like, of course,
Yes.
the family that prays together, stay together, but sometimes we got to get well together too. Because some stuff,
Listen,
some stuff just make your spirit sick.
you
And
better say that
Yeah.
again.
it feels good for us. And Lord, so debonair got me leaking over here. But it feels good.
Don't mess your
Absolutely
lashes
wonderful.
up. You know they do come off.
Baby, I got waterproof glue, not these lashes. But and it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, these are the things we need, and so many times people don't want to hear about the healing. We like to make things sick. We like to do things that aren't so nice. Sometimes we have so much fun with the low vibrational energy that we don't often want to pick up and just heal and be happy and just live in the light like that. So I appreciate y'all for being here, and please
Amen.
make sure you hit the like button. Please make sure you go and
Yes.
follow Ty said what Ty said. Make sure you're following So Debonair. Y'all go subscribe. It don't cost you nothing, just a little bit of love. The same thing we talking about.
That's
But
right.
like
And
the
share
real
this broadcast because you definitely want to share a message of hope and a message that strengthens each other, a motivational message. And I think this was a great conversation to lift each other up. And Sinitra, you already know how I feel about you. You
I love
already
you
know
back.
you are my heart. And I
Exactly.
don't even know how I didn't know you was gonna be on today. Why you didn't tell nobody?
Listen,
She
because
told somebody. I'm somebody.
let me tell you, DJ. What happened was this what had happened, right? So I didn't go to sleep till after 5 in the morning because I'm always up working. Like if I'm not doing something, it's like I feel like I'm naked. So I was just working, and I went to sleep late. I woke up early because the phone kept ringing. And when I got up and got my wits about myself, it was just on my heart. Like we need to have some crown therapy. Like it's time for us to do some feel good stuff. Like we got to do some feel good stuff. I needed it. And then, So Debonair was on my heart because I was, like I said, when I was on the front porch gossiping with y'all last night, I was watching that live over on Nosy's channel. And when I saw him lean back, I saw something in his eyes. And, you know, I see him just like I would see any other younger brother. And it was like, this don't look right. I could just tell. And that's why I reached out because it's like, I feel like that's what I want us to do for each other. And it just
We
came up
need it.
spur of the moment.
Yeah.
It really was a spur of the moment thing. Like it was on my heart. So I called him and was like, "Hey, I want you to come on with me and let's put some good energy out there because that's what we need."
That's right.
And then I called Ty and was like, "Hey, Gail, come on here," because Ty has her
Yeah.
platform, and Ty is awesome. Like her energy is so cool. Like this sister is so phenomenal, and I feel like a lot of people don't get to see her. She doesn't get the exposure, and I think a lot of times those of us with real big mouths get a whole lot of exposure, and sometimes it's that quiet person that has so much to offer you, and you miss it because we don't know how to hear that still and soft voice. We
Yeah.
haven't learned how to hear that still and soft voice. And so I was just like, man, come up here. Let these people see you. Let them get a load of you. Because this is somebody I consider my sister. She has so much
Mm.
power in her, so much energy. And I felt like it was being wasted, you know, by so many people not being able to see what she has. Like a diamond is still a diamond, but ain't nobody seen it, you know. Come on
Hmm.
now. We need to go on and
Thank you,
put, and we
Shanisha.
need to do that for each other. Promote your sisters, promote your brothers. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid that if they grow that you won't. Like in reality,
Amen to that.
even if they grow and you don't grow right now, if you let them grow, just like I told So Debonair, you're gonna be something. And I'm gonna tell everybody I know you. See, at the end of it all, we have to be content with the idea that your brother's success or your sister's success is your success too.
Is your
You
success.
should
Mm-hmm.
want to see them
Mm-hmm.
succeed. You should want that, honestly.
That's true.
Let me tell y'all
That is
something though.
true.
Sanitra's being very light on what she's saying, but what she
Mm-hmm.
told me this morning, y'all, like I cannot, like I can't even stop thinking about it. Like it's on my heart for real. And I'm not gonna say everything that she said to me, but when I tell you she built me back up to a place and she seen me, it
Mm-hmm.
was almost like she gave me my assignment, right? God spoke to her this morning about me. And when I tell you, I don't take that lightly. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally like my mother says the same things that Sinitra said to me this morning, which is why I know God to call me this
Mm-hmm.
morning.
Mm-hmm.
I literally I cried like 3 times this morning.
Oh my
I cried like
gosh,
three
you're gonna
times this
make me go
morning.
Candace, girl.
I did
Mm.
because
Okay, that's
y'all
all
don't
right.
I
understand.
got some tears right
You don't
now too.
understand
Why y'all doing this to me?
Uh,
what
I
she
know.
said
I'm
to me
supposed to
this
be working
morning.
out, kickboxing, punching
What she
people.
said to me this morning, it meant everything to me because I went on my channel and I gave my heart. And I said, I always get in situations where people get intimidated and then I feel like I need to go back behind the scene. It's been like that. I've been in this industry for over 12 years. And every time I get
Right.
afraid and I run to the back, I always do this. But what she did, it was so much confirmation this morning. And again, Signature, she texted me today. She's like, it's 1:30. We went through a few times. I said, listen, whatever time you need me, whenever you need me, as long as I'm not busy, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Because this is my sister, you know what I'm saying? And like I said before, I love Black women. I'm always celebrate any Black woman that I know. If I can be there, I'm there. But what she poured into me today, it was so amazing. And my mother and my aunt did it before she did it. So I knew she was on one accord with God when she called me this morning. And I love her for that.
Thank you for being
I'm
so in
Yes.
tune,
I'm so
Shanitra.
sorry for doing
Thank
this,
you.
but I have to. This is why I got in trouble the last time. But no,
I know because
I
I'm
can't
feeling
believe
left
it.
out. I feel very left out. I look.
No,
I'm just
I just
playing.
think
I'm
that
just
it's imperative that we recognize when stuff like that happens because to be
Yeah.
honest with you, no, you can be that person that upholds people and carry people for a very long time, and then who's checking on you?
Hmm.
Right.
Who's
right.
making sure that you're encouraged? Who's making sure
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
you're getting that strength back inside of you? You know, Shanitra knows that I kind of disappeared from off the YouTube streets for a little
You
bit.
did.
Uh, I'm just now coming back. It took me 6 months, but my mother passed away in January, and in March my grandmother passed away. And just before that, I lost my job. Things started happening. It was just one thing after the next, after the next, after the next, and I just kind of disappeared. But I will have to tell you, I had one person who knew something was not right, and we have to really be paying attention to when our brother or sister is looking just a little if something is not right and really be led
Yeah.
and really
Yeah.
really feel that person from where they are and reach out to them
Hmm.
and say, you know what, are
Yes.
you really okay? And I think that's
Hmm.
going to help us as a people. Shanisha, big shout out to you. I already know you that kind of person. You're always you're actually an encourager, you're a builder. That's who you are, and that's what you've done. And if you're on this channel right now, you're listening, you've heard something great on this channel, you need to go ahead and you need to go ahead and share the broadcast, and then make sure you tune in to what's happening next because these kinds of conversations will continue to happen that will uplift you and motivate you. So big
And stop
shout
forgetting about
out,
those
big sis.
notifications. Turn those notifications on and
Turn on
put them on
those.
Yes.
all.
Yes, because
And
listen,
I'm gonna say, I have to say, do this also, because this is something that she does for me all the time on my channel. My moderator, Naturally Nakaya, just asked me, what is Shanitra's Cash App? Because I'm sure she's going to share it. And anytime Shanitra comes to my channel, she's there every Sunday, being my Vanna Black when I do my games and giveaways on my channel. She's always there with me. And she's usually the first one to kick off my super chats or my cash apps. You know, I'll just hear my phone going off with the little coin signs, or else I'll see it lighting up. And so I just, threw something in there, and I know that there was someone asking for her cash app information last night, and I shared it. And I don't know how many people actually got to see it, but give something to this lady because she's so generous. If you have it to do, and if it's in your heart, do that. That's just another way to show appreciation. And she does it for me all the time. I'd be crazy to not do it. And so I do see my moderator, who's her moderator, Nakaya, Naturally Nakaya, asking. And so yeah, definitely, Alethea, my other moderator, send that woman something, because she's always giving. I mean, I know that we all see her on a lot of different channels. She is everybody's YouTube sister. The strong feelings that the three of us have about her, at least 12 other people feel the same way out here in these YouTube streets. And who knows in person, how many people she's touched that way. So yeah, I love you. Mwah. And now
Thank
go
you.
back to.
Listen, y'all not gonna make me go grab no Kleenex. We ain't finna do that. We ain't finna do that.
I just think that
Lulu,
it's important to celebrate people all the time. I mean, that's
It is.
I can't help it. It's so important, especially because we don't always get that. So
We don't.
anytime that my sister or my brother does anything for me, I'm gonna celebrate you. And I don't hold no regrets with that. I'm celebrating everybody.
Yeah.
And you know
I
what?
just have to tell y'all. Can I tell y'all something? I was telling y'all about that cake that just got all messed up. I might have did something wrong, but that cake sure do taste good.
Yeah,
You
You
know,
can still have you can still have a good. I'm preaching right now. You can still have
yes.
a good outcome on something that turned out to be so bad. Come on,
Something
somebody.
that looks
That
so bad,
looks
right?
so bad,
Yeah.
but tastes so
Yeah.
good. You better come
and
on here,
hold on,
Ty.
y'all. Let me, y'all
Look,
listen.
hey, you're
Let me,
talking to a former Bible study teacher, not Sunday
listen.
school teacher, as
Hold
Alethea,
on,
but
y'all.
yeah.
Let me address Lulu. Sis, my email address is in the info for the page. Okay, so just email me. Okay, I wasn't trying to interrupt y'all, but that's
Oh, it's
just.
all good.
But I did want to address it because that's part of
That's
who I
very
am.
kind.
That's part of who I am. Like, I'm accessible. Y'all know
Jen.
me. I don't like for anybody to feel like I'm out of reach. I'm not out of reach. I'm not some mystery. Lord knows I ain't no celebrity. Anybody that wants to reach me can reach me, and I don't want anybody to feel like I addressed her and she didn't say nothing back. Lulu, girl, listen, we can go to the new spot and get the all you can eat crab and lobster. Just let me know, okay?
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
why you ain't in Atlanta?
What? I don't know.
Why
I'm
you
gonna
ain't in
come over
Atlanta?
there. I plan on coming over there.
You come to Atlanta, Sinitra, it's a wrap. You ain't moving back wherever you at. I'm kidnapping you. You moving in with me.
And I'm
Listen,
in Georgia too. And I heard that Sintra is a very good. Shanitra is a very very good cook. So
I'm a
I'm
mean
she got to
cook.
come to my house.
I've heard that too. I've heard
I
that
am
as
a
well.
mean cook. But I mean, like, just I'm just loving the vibe. I'm just loving it, loving it, loving it. And Jen,
Yeah.
yes, Jen, Aquarius, we do have emotions, even though people pretend we don't because we don't have emotional outbursts very often. We do have them. This rock does have tears. I do have them.
You know what's weird is all my Aquarius friends are very emotional. My
Really.
best friend is in Aquarius. Yes, my
And
roommate is
see,
in Aquarius.
but I told you,
Oh.
like, with me, my birthday is literally like 131. I have no cusp energy. There's no Capricorn energy, ain't no Pisces energy.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, I'll be honest. I had to work on my emotional IQ because I didn't know how to emote the way I should for a
Hmm.
very long time. And you know what? That, to me, that took a lot of growth for me to learn how to emote. and to express, because I felt a lot of stuff, but I didn't know how to express it to people. And
Right.
yes, vanilla ice cream does cause everything to be
I was
dry.
What's that
laughing at
noise?
Diamond Pearl Jim. Y'all know I love Diamond Pearl Jim. I love her.
Child, you mean hold on,
Listen,
child. Let me
guys, I've got to go, but thank you
bye,
for having me,
DJ.
Shanitra, and please hit me up. I'd love to be. I'd love to be a part of your platform and come on every now and then and chime in with
Listen,
my crazy.
DJ, let me just tell you before you go. This ain't no
Uh huh.
platform like that, baby. Anytime I go live, my link is in the stream. I want it shared repeatedly. And the reason for that is because, like I said, I know you came in a little late. When you come here, that you at your sister's house. So if you want to hop up
Mm.
here, if the link is in the chat and the platform isn't full, you come up and speak your mind. I want everybody to feel like they can say whatever they need to say. I don't care if you're going through something. I don't care if you want to complain. If we doing celebrity gossip and you heard something I ain't heard, come tell me about that too. I really do not want to be a cookie cutter channel where people, feel like, okay, I'm gonna run my mouth and be a talking head, and then I'll drop the link. Now you come up here and help me entertain folks. No. At the end of the day, come say what you need to say anytime you need to say it. Anytime I'm live, DJ, grab the link, come up here, say anything you want to say, okay?
Well, since you said that, let me just go ahead and drop another nugget. I think players is listening to. She probably gonna listen to this because if I love her, she don't know me, but I love her and I followed her. But I would like to say, players, if you're listening to this, and Marcella, if you're in the chat still, God bless you, man. I heard your testimony about your husband, and he survived all that he went through, and you carried him through all of that. That was brave to me, and I just want to commend you for standing by your man and being there as a support. I mean, this is what you're supposed to do, but God bless you. But let me say something to players. Players, things only go up from here. And I love you.
I thought you was
Keep
about to
coming back
propose.
with scared of. No, I'm already married. Praise God.
Oh well.
And as a matter of fact, this weekend will make
That,
17 years.
wait a
Oh,
minute. That didn't stop
congratulations.
Simon from proposing to Portia. So I mean, it's been done. I'm just
Now that could be very true in my
saying.
case. But anyway, y'all be blessed.
Nice
Y'all have a
meeting you,
good one. It was
DJ.
good talking to
Bye,
you.
DJ. We'll
All right.
talk
Bye
again.
bye.
And let me give y'all, because I see people ask my players. Can y'all give her some time, please? Because
Yes.
she does need
I
that, and
bet.
she's asking for that. This is why you guys don't see her online a lot. She's asking for some time,
Hmm. I
Mm-hmm.
and
bet she
she
is.
the messages you guys are sending her, she receives them and she respects them, but she kind of just wants to like a break.
I
So
bet.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Let's honor that. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
honor that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
y'all
surprised
listen.
that you are even so visible right now. I figured that you all might need a break. Nobody expected all this.
I'm gonna tell you why I haven't been, because I feel like I'm the protector. And me and Sinitra
I
had this
got you.
conversation this morning. So
Okay.
I understand why I'm doing what I'm doing now because of our conversation this
Got you.
morning.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a protector. So I feel like because of what's been going on, I have to protect. There's some certain people that I need to protect.
I got
There's some
you.
things that are coming against me right now, and
Yeah.
I have to deal with those things. This is why I'm very present.
All
But
right.
like I talked about on my morning inspiration thing, I do take breaks from people a lot because
Mm-hmm.
it gets to be a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like for
Mm-hmm.
everyone, we need breaks sometimes.
Yeah.
Right now is not my time to take a break because there's some things
All
that have to be
right.
handled before I can take one.
Yeah,
Okay. All
absolutely.
right.
Well, I appreciate that. Listen, y'all, we done been on here almost 2 hours, and
Mhm.
I didn't expect, or should I say, I didn't really know what to expect as far as time, as far as how long we would be here. Like I had a
Yeah.
guess, but I wasn't right, and I think I wasn't
Mhm.
right because
Yeah. You were not.
we were having such a good time. But and honestly, I hate to cut it short, but I'm gonna let y'all get back to your day. This absolutely will not be the last crown therapy conversation. Um, let's do it again real soon. I'll definitely schedule it. Make sure I send out, notification, or if I do a short video, I will mention when the next crown conversation will be. And For the record, tomorrow we'll be right back on the front porch dragging these good folks from the gossip, from social media, from Instagram, from every tabloid, every blog. We're going to drag them on the porch tomorrow night. But in the
Yeah.
meanwhile, y'all have a good day, have a productive day, have a blessed day, have an abundant day, and make sure you share that energy to somebody else. All right?
Absolutely.
Love y'all.
Debonair, it was so nice
Bye.
to talk to you. Shanitra,
You as
thank you for
well.
having me.
And I'm subscribed to your channel now so I can find you.
I'm subscribed to yours. Hey, come and join me on the Sunday Fun Day with Shanitra.
Let me know. Like I
her
told
co-host.
Sinitra, if you need me, I'm gonna be there.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. We'll talk again soon. Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Love y'all.